Hi, how's everyone doing? Happy Friday to you. Didn't do a video yesterday. Really busy. I went to a job fair to kind of talk about the code bootcamp that I'm in here, and met with a lot of people in Augusta who are. Some people were not really interested in programming, but then kind of talked to them, just kind of share some information with them about what we do here, and what my experience has been. As most of you guys know, I actually wound up getting a job out of this. It's been a really good experience, so I was really happy to go share that with a lot of people and try to not really convince them, because you really can't convince someone to learn. So I tried to explain the benefits of coming to this program and completing it from beginning to end. So I was very busy yesterday, and the other thing I've really been caught up in is I'm working with a friend. Um, I don't have his GitHub up on here, but I'm working with a friend on a C++ project for some printing applications, some 3D printing applications and stuff like that. And I had to learn this new thing called Cmake, which I'm sure if you're in C++ or C, you're probably fluent in it. But for me, I was very used to the beautiful thing from Visual Studio, which would just compile my code. I never had to worry about a make file. I never had to worry about any of that stuff. So I've been racking my brain trying to figure out what's going on with Cmake. If you don't know what that is, I guess I show I have this whole entire library of algorithms. By the way, if you want to know, if you're interested in algorithms written in C, I have a whole entire list of algorithms on merging lists and linked lists and tortoise and hare algorithm, just different things that I do in the morning. I do this stuff like get up at really early hours of the morning and just kind of go through and pick different problems that are recommended for C programmers just to stay sharp. Because I find out when I start writing these, I have no idea how to do it, and I have to look up a lot of things. So yeah, I do this pretty much every morning, and my repository is up there if you want to get it. So in order to understand how to compile this person's huge project, which has like thousands of files in it, I started compiling these little files, and this is what a Cmake list.txt looks like. So there's a GUI. I don't use the GUI, I use the command line. It's up to you if you want to go look that up. And this is all I really understand so far, is that it takes this C file, which has a header file, and I don't really know how it does it, but it makes it into an executable called change-hash.exe, and it drops it in this build folder. And the reason that you see debug and all this stuff with Visual Studio is because, let me cd into, this is chained hash. And then if I do, I have to go up in, oh my gosh, I gotta go up in my file history to, guess what? You guys all get to see this really awesome way of how I've been doing this. So if anyone watching this, I don't think anyone watching this really knows C or C++, but if someone randomly comes across this and you give me some feedback on how I'm doing this, the way that I have figured out how to do it right now is I go up here and I go into x86, and then I go into Visual Studio. So we got to go into Microsoft Visual Studio, and then 2017 Community VC, and I know it's called varsol something 64 dot that. Oh God, why is this always so hard to do? Oh, it's gotta be in here. MSVC x64 x64, dang it, DLL VC vars. Oh, I know, I remember what it's called, VC vars. Okay, go back in here, and then I go into VC vars. Okay, this is a bat file. So if I go not in 64, not that one, AMD, VCVars x64. My machine's an x64. So I go into the file location. So show where open file location. Go in. Go back here. Go into build. So I grab this thing, and it's VCVars x64 bat. So I call that this VCVars x64 dot bat. Watch what happens when I call this. It sets the environment to an x64 environment for Cmake. And it doesn't do it.
I'll make sure.
VCVars 64, that's why. Gotta go back. VCVars64.bat. It tells me it's in a Visual Studio Community Edition bat. Okay. And now if I do Cmake, and then I use -G, and I pick the generator to be Visual Studio 15 2017. Why? Because this is my build target. This is the thing that I'm building it for, and it's going to give me Visual Studio files. I could probably pick Ninja, and there's all these different types of generators. I don't really know what they do, but this is the way that I build a solution for Visual Studio. And then my source is going to be this directory right here, and my -build is going to be the directory /build. Okay, and run it. Yeah. Visual Studio 15 with all caps and a space. Visual Studio. And here we go. It's configuring it, and build files have been written to chained hash.build. If I deleted this thing, if I delete this directory, move to recycling bin, gets rid of it, and then if I do this, he's going to build it all over again. So here we go. It's doing a whole fresh build of this program. What this program does is, if you're not familiar with a hash table, you don't need to do this, but if you really want to understand a hash table in depth, this is using modular, I don't know what it's called. It has a special name. There's like folding, mid-unfolding, and it's just using this modular arithmetic to develop a hash. And what it does is it places a bunch of values in a hash table, and if there's a collision, what it does is it stores the items in a linked list. And it's really not great. It's not the best program in the world, but it works, and it's all written in C, and it was a really good exercise for me to understand C and some of the methods that are used in that for making a hash table. And I learned a lot about what you would use a hash table for, so it was cool. Anyways, let's open this guy. Let's open this show, reveal, and explore. And yes, this is still my whole entire process for building a project with Visual Studio. This is how I do this. All right, let's get out of there, and then right click on build, and then reveal and explore. Oh, I was already looking at it. There we go. Here we go. We have a solution. We now have a Visual Studio solution. And so this little project right here, not that, if I look in this project for Visual Studio Code, it's actually making a chained hash project for Visual Studio. That's the thing that we're running. I'm waiting for Visual Studio to open right now. And once it does that, I'll be able to build a solution, and you can see this program running in Visual Studio. Here we go. So it's working right now. It's just building it up. Okay, and here we go. So now you got all these projects here, and now if I do Control-Shift-B, build all, that hotkey, here we go. It's building all the stuff. It's giving me warnings about the way that I'm using scanf, but that's just the way that I do it. And I'll set this as my startup project, and Control-Shift-F5. Control F5. I'm using a lot of different debuggers these days. Okay, and insert a record. One, Evan, and let's give him an ID of 12, and display all records in the table. Here we go. There's my hash table with my name. So that's what I've been working on. Yeah, nothing really exciting. Just learning how to use Cmake to build cross-platform C++ applications, which is great because I do a lot of computer vision stuff, and I would love to see my computer vision stuff being used on Mac or Linux or whatever. I'm interested in the Cmake thing. That's why I'm helping this from this project. I'm interested in integrating C++ code into something like a web browser, like with Node.js or C Sharp, something like that. I would like to make a front end for the video editing software that you saw me demo the last time. It's a project I've been working on for a while. But that's pretty much it. For the code boot camp, we are just having blast. We got 1 week left. I can't believe it. It's almost over, and everything really did work out very well. But it's not going to stop me from making videos. I'll still constantly be producing videos, and this little project that you see over here. Yep, you can tell. You know what I'm going to be making. I said it in January, and I was overly enthusiastic about how I was going to make a C course. Well, now I'm actually going to do it. I'm really going to make a C course. I'm going to do it the right way with lots of fun examples that we can work with. And it's going to be all data structures, and it's going to be in English, plain, simple English data structures. How do you do this stuff? I'm going to explain everything. But, yep, that's it. That's gonna be it for today. So I hope everyone has a wonderful Friday, and thank you for watching.